So speaking of losing that advantage next week, right, going on the road, these guys are coming home disappointed, angry. Does that increase their focus or leave them stunned and vulnerable? Because I'm a little worried they're going to come home pissed, right? I mean, blackout or not, they're going home to what is already an angry stadium for visitors, and now they're going to have a little extra chip on their shoulder after the debacle today.
What's your thought?
I think you're right on that, because I mean the thing about Utah is Utah's a good team, and they're well coached. They're defending conference champions. They're not surprised. I think they come back hungry.
Yeah. Andy, I think that's a valid point. In fact, I was talking to a friend who's also an SC grad before the game, and he brought up that exact point. And I said to him, I said, hey, look, it's just another challenge for USC. I love it because, first off, we got to get over Washington State, and we cannot look past them because that's the first thing we have to do on national TV. Okay, check that off the box. We did that. Yeah. Now we can control our own destiny. Yes, Utah's going to be upset, but guess what? We can go into their house, hand them their second loss, be 7-0, and then we control our destiny because we got UCLA, right? And that will be another quality win. So we get a quality win with Washington State. We're going to get if we beat Utah, the challenge is in front of us. And yes, that's part of it. If you're going to be a championship team, you're going to have to take care of it. And if we beat Utah, adios. They're no longer going to be in the Pac-12 championship picture, because they would have 2 losses and one of them would be to us.
Yep.
And one's to UCLA. So
did you guys see anything today from them that exposes them that we could take advantage of? Anything specific? Because I was trying to look for something, and I mean, other than DTR being who he is, embarrassing them on certain moments, I was looking for something that we could exploit.
I think you hit it right there. I think everything DTR did, Caleb Williams can do, and probably better. And as D says, he thinks we can run on Utah. I agree. I mean, I think we'll be able to run on Utah. And I think our receivers, I don't think Washington State has a really good secondary. I thought they played really well. I also thought they got away with a lot from the refs, but I thought they played pretty well. And Utah certainly didn't look nearly as good as they did tonight.
Yeah.
Well, and that was part of the equation that helped Florida beat Utah on the road down in Gainesville. Is Anthony Richardson had a great game, and he hasn't had one at that level since. Credit DTR. DTR had a great game. He had 2 good games in a row, and that was the only way. I think we talked about on our Pac-12 show on Wednesday that if UCLA had a chance, DTR would have to come out with another spectacular game.
And real quick, guys. Yeah. I'm sorry. Real quick, we're going to bring in Sean, who was at the game. Sean, welcome to the Voice of College Football's USC Postgame Live. Tell us about the game tonight at the stadium.
Can you guys hear me?
We can, yep.
Okay, yeah. So I'm young. I'm 26, and I was spoiled because I grew up in the Pete Carroll era. And, it's been a long, 7 or 8 years under Helton, but today what I saw at the stadium, it was very live. It was very, very energetic. I got tickets in the 300 section, so it's kind of in the nosebleeds. But even up there, the fans that were there, they were into it. Every third down, every stop and completion, they were very into the game.
Sean, were you at the Fresno State game?
Yes, I was.
Okay, how did tonight's atmosphere compare with Fresno State?
To be honest, even though it wasn't I feel like today was our most complete game, to be honest. The fan reactions to the scoring in the Fresno State game were a little more I don't know. I feel like they weren't sure, but today, the energy just felt like the real fans filtered into the stadium and they stayed.
Yep, it's coming back.
It's coming back. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just saying I was very pleased. I felt like a kid going to the Pete Carroll games where, we weren't LA fans, where we were very Merriweather. We were into it. It was very cool to see.
Good. That's what we need. I was also, I'll tell you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the number. UCLA, despite giving free tickets to all their students, despite selling tickets for like $5 or $20 or whatever they were. And all of the whole state of Utah claimed that they were going. And the I don't know if you guys saw, they still only pulled 41,000 people in that stadium tonight.
Yeah, I hate to say it because I don't want to say anything good about that team over there, but they do seem legit. It seems like Chip Kelly used the first 4 games as almost like a preseason to kind of work the kinks out, even though they almost dropped one to South Alabama. But I feel like they're kind of filtering out who's going to be on the field, and not so much, not a lot of substitutions and stuff like that.
Well, and as Chris reminds us, they don't give out any points for how many people are there.
That's very true.
Because if they did, LSU would have been smoked out of their own stadium today, like a pistol whipped little toy.
Hey, Tony, let's not talk about the Bayou Bengals in that form and fashion. It was not a night game. LSU plays better at night. Yes.
Is that their excuse this time?
It was a noon kickoff. The corn dogs and jambalaya were still warming up. So don't diss the Bayou Bengals with a 12 o'clock kickoff. They're juiced and ready to go at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Actually, I've been in New Orleans, and a noon kickoff is probably just left over from the night before.
Isn't it better the second day, though?
Sorry, go ahead.
Isn't it better the second day, like pizza?
It is. It's better the second day.
I didn't get to check, but how did our friends in South Bend do? What happened there?
Our friends in South Bend held on. They were up big the whole game, held on to beat BYU.
Okay.
Oh, guys, hold on. We've got another special guest. We've got friend of the show, number one fan, Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports. Jeffrey, what'd you think of the Trojans tonight pulling a big win?
Hey, I wasn't gonna call in because I watched most of the Alabama game with my dad or whatever, but yeah, and I was just on with Mark, but my camera froze, so I got cut off. So I just thought I'd hop on over here before I go to bed. But yeah, USC's looking really good. I saw a little bit of the highlights or whatever. USC, man. I mean, I didn't think this would be an upset. A lot of people thought it would be an upset. We kind of talked about it on Wednesday, but man, I mean, USC is looking like they're improving, especially a lot of people coming into this season really thought that USC was going to be able to put up a lot of points, but their defense was going to struggle. But their defense is doing really good. I mean, their defense has actually really stepped up. And I think Tim was saying on Wednesday as well, as long as their defense can stay in this top 30 and their offense is a top 10 caliber team, I mean, they definitely could. They definitely could run the table. I think. Don't they have UCLA next week?
No.
Who?
USC.
No, we have Utah.
Utah. That's it. They have Utah. When do they play UCLA again?
Second to last game of the season.
November.
Second to last game of the season. My
November
bad.
19th. November 19th.
But the way they're playing, I think they can beat Utah for sure. Yes.
From your lips to God's ears.
Exactly.
And then hopefully beat UCLA. I mean, guys, it's we don't want to jinx it by talking about what could be, but can we just have a moment in our heads without speaking about it? Because we don't want to jinx anything, just to think about what could be.
Let's just enjoy 6-0 for right now, to be honest.
Good point. Because we'll take what we can. I mean, if I win or lose next week, I mean, we're still light years, I think, ahead of where we thought we would be for the rebuild.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Yeah, before the season, I had SC with 2 losses by the Utah game. Well, 1 loss by the Utah game. But they're playing above schedule.
Well, these days that makes you a pessimist.
Yeah.
I'm a realist, but being watching under Helton, that did kind of make me a pessimist. So I'm trying to, wean off those habits.